Just test the sound. Is there anything you don't want to talk about?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
But
Yeah, okay. Okay, we are rolling in 3,
Can
2,
I drink my coffee
1.
while we're...
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kiskapades podcast. Today I have a very lovely, beautiful guest with me. And I'll let her introduce herself for the people who are listening. For the people who are watching, I'm sure you can see the eye candy.
I am Naomi Wamboe. That's Wamboe. I'm a singer, songwriter, entertainer, businesswoman. Yeah, I do it all.
Ish. Independently? You forgot to say independent.
Independent woman.
Yeah. So welcome to the Kiskapades podcast. Thanks for coming through. The podcast is about the 4 pillars of life.
Okay.
Do you know about the 4 pillars of life?
Explain to me.
Health,
I have a rough idea.
Health.
Go ahead.
wealth, love, and happiness. And everybody just has like a different journey. And just in general, they shape us to who we are, like currently. Your experiences when it comes to just interaction with friends, family, love, hustling, all these things that we chase on a regular every single day.
Yeah.
So let's start off with, I've known you for the longest time, and I mean, like I was saying off camera, we don't get to sit down and have these conversations. Most of the times everybody's like either super occupied,
Yeah.
for her case,
definitely.
drunk most of the time.
No. Yes.
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 So no, but it's always
It's
like
always at
that social
parties or
scene.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't get to really chop it down and talk
Yeah.
about things that actually matter. Even if I wanted to, that wouldn't be the place to.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so and that's why you're here at the podcast today.
Okay.
And let's just start off like maybe with, I know you've been doing music for the longest time. And the first time I remember seeing you doing music was, which one? Which was your first hit? Let me tell you. No, hold on.
Oh,
The
man.
song, was it with the song with Jim Watt?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the first
Yes,
time.
it was.
Yeah.
Tunakatika Nastaya Kenya.
Yes,
Oh my gosh,
yes.
that was crazy. I was like 15, I think.
Wait, you were 15?
15 or 16, yes.
Jeez.
I had come to visit Kenya, and then it was just so crazy how it all happened. My uncle knew Clemo, and so Clemo was like, oh, let's do a song before she goes back to America, because I was back and forth because of school.
Yeah.
So me and Jim Watt just did a song. We shot a video at our house in Ligiri, with my uncle's cars, and it was like a hit, kind of. It was a hit. I won a Chagua Latinis award for it. So yeah, that was, wow, that's throwback.
That's a throwback, yeah, but that's how far I remember you doing music, and you've always been very consistent. But I don't think you've tapped into the mainstream currently.
Yes.
And just before we go to that, let's just find a backstory. Where were you raised?
I was born and raised in the States.
Also,
Seattle,
the accent is not
Washington.
so it's just for people who are listening. You know how Kenyans are just faking their accents.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
many people think I fake my accent. No,
Yeah.
this is an American accent. I was American born. I've always schooled there, from elementary school to college. But I was always back and forth.
Kenya
Kenya and America. My parents always made it a big deal for us to come at least once a year.
So that can be grounded, just know your people and
Exactly.
everything. And I think that's one thing that I've noticed. Even every time anytime you go to the States, you're always coming back to Kenya.
Yeah.
Why?
I
Why?
love Kenya.
I'm just
Kenya.
waiting to get my visa. I'm gone. I'm not coming back, bro. I'm not. Why?
That's what so many people say. I've
Why?
always loved Kenya. I wanted to go to school here. I wanted Yes, I wanted to do high school here. I wanted to go to USIU. My parents wouldn't let me.
Why?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you let me?
No, I'm not. I'm not talking to their parents. I'm talking to you. Why would you want that?
Just because I wanted to. I wanted to get that experience of growing up here, learning the language, because I suck at Swahili. Yeah.
You can learn.
Najua kidogo.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, a lot of people, how they look at it, maybe it's like just from people who are born and bred. Always like, they always have like, from what we see, like countries like the States have systems that work.
Yeah.
And you see now, when it comes to even something like music,
Yeah.
you can post like, even back then, I think that's when people were doing like ringtones and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you had anything popping, there's just a nice structure of selling like your content as an artist.
As
an artist.
It is. It's also like very more competitive in the States.
Oh, so what you're
Very
saying
much
is like
so.
Kenyans are not very talented, and if you come here, it's easy for you to like maneuver.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But
it makes sense.
In
No,
the
it makes
States,
sense.
in the States, it's way more competitive. It's like I would have had to like, because I'm from Seattle, I would have had to like move to California, you know, do that hustle mentality, change my lifestyle, just take a big risk rather than coming to Kenya, like where I knew like family and people who are
they have
already in
your
the
back
industry.
oh yeah.
So yeah, it was just easier.
Okay, but how was, if you compare like, did you ever do music in the States? Or just maybe the little school things?
When
or?
I was in college, I used to do music in Miami. I was recording with some people. I did a lot
You
of
don't even want to
background.
mention them?
I
Is it
know.
people that you don't
I
even
don't
remember?
know. They're even like famous, and I forgot. I did a lot of like background vocals and stuff for them.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's this guy's name? I forgot.
Wow.
That's horrible. That's
Wow.
how long ago it was.
But is the song
Can you
out?
believe
Is that
it?
song out there?
Yeah, it was out there. It was playing. It was a hit. It was a hit.
And just before we just come back to like Kenyan industry goes, you're one of the few artists that have been able to come to the podcast. The other ones are saying play Kenyan music. I'm not playing Kenyan music if you're not coming to my podcast. Hey.
Right.
Hey.
But you have to play Kenyan music. Come on. We need to support our people.
Do you like Kenyan music?
I love Kenyan music.
Okay,
I'm not so
we'll get.
hey,
Okay,
I'm
no.
no.
Yeah,
Don't put me on the spot.
Okay, what are you
Don't put
saying?
me
Just
on the
finish
spot.
that
I'm not
sentence.
so familiar with like the names of the songs.
You see,
I
that's
know.
where I was going. That's where I was going.
I'm not so familiar with the names of the songs. I know like some of the artists. I know
Who
a
are
lot
like
of
some of
artists.
your favorite artists?
I like Kagwe. I love his music.
Kago is coming next
Kagwe
week to the
is-
podcast.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh nice. He just performed at Masego. Like
Yeah.
that was a dope show.
Yeah.
Fenna, she's doing her thing. She's doing her thing as well. Madoni Drama Queen.
Of course.
Calligraph, shout out to
Papa
Calligraph.
Jones.
That's my boy. Yeah, who else?
Yeah, you
I
see?
mean, there's so many I can't even like think right on the spot.
So many relevant
You
ones
just-
that we can't even remember their names.
Yes.
But no, that's not what we're saying. And I'm just saying it's kind of like a slippery slope right now, like in the Kenyan industry, because content-wise, a lot of people, like let's say for you, the kind of music that you do currently right now is a fusion of probably an American upbringing.
Yes.
And what you know is Kenyan as well.
Yes.
So it's fused with that.
Yes.
And then we have people in the industry who, okay, first of all, how was it just easy? Like back then it must have been really easy, like just dropping a song, right?
Yeah, back then it was only because like my uncle knew Clemo.
And
like,
Clemo's
they were,
already
like,
had
next-door
that
neighbors.
momentum with Caliph Records.
You know, like Genge was the thing back then.
Yeah.
And I was signed with them. I was signed with them for like a year, but it was so hard because I would always have to go back to school. I would drop a song, it would like get big, and they'd look for me for interviews and stuff, but I'd always be back in
not
the
there.
States, like doing my thing.
Do you want to bite this
So-
sandwich before we finish?
No, eat your sandwich. I have my muffin.
Yes, so, but do you miss that era when it comes to music, though.
I sure do. I really do miss that era. I mean, I feel like that's when Kenyan music was on top, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Even like-
Nigerian who?
Yeah.
Nigerian who?
They used to come to Kenya to actually
Yes.
try and work with Kenyans and everything.
Exactly. And but I feel that Kenyans didn't, you know, with music, just like everything else, it changes. It changes rapidly. Like in this day and age, one thing can be cool one day, and then the next day, it's something totally different. And that's how it is with music. And I think that Kenyans got stuck in doing music one specific type of way because it worked for them at that time, and they didn't want to go along with the change. You know, it was hard for them to change. Now they're doing it. You know, like how their rap is coming up. You know, pop, hip hop is coming up. Yeah. All of that.
But when you say them, you know you're part of the
I
music
know.
industry, right?
I know I am.
What are you doing about it?
I'm changing. I'm changing. I have content, good content that's coming out.
How has your have your parents been supportive ever since you were young, or they were like, you know what, Naomi, we know you like music, but can you also have a plan B? Is that what you wanted to be when you're growing up?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a singer when I was growing up. My parents were very supportive, but it was just a hobby I was doing. When I started when I was 15, 16, because my dad had always said, you have to go back to, you have to stay in school, you have to stay in school. And I think staying in school was the one that was hindering me from getting as far as I would have been in the industry.
Oh, I guess now we know who to blame.
Yep, Dad. But I thank God for it because I got my business management degree with a minor in music. So at least I have something to fall back on, and I do other ventures and stuff with it.
Do you think it's, let's say you're pursuing music right now, do you feel like it's important to actually go the extra mile to go to music school? What are they called in the States? I don't know whether we have them in Kenya.
Music school.
They're called music school? Yeah, but I'm just guessing when it comes to not just to
That's
study,
what I
just
call them.
playing instruments. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
management aspect of it, the marketing aspect of it,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the eras things keep changing, and I think a lot of artists, the main problem a lot of artists are having now is with, you don't know how maybe to market yourself.
How
you can make
over in other areas.
Contracts.
I think it's very important to know the business side of music. I definitely do. In terms of managing, marketing, it's extremely important because you can always get a team. But sometimes even the team can screw you over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know where your money is actually going.
Yeah. Even though money is coming in.
Yeah. So I think it's very important. But education, period, is important all the way.
Okay. And there was a time where I think a lot of women it was slightly easier for them because if you're a vocalist. Don't look at me like that. Now listen, let me explain. Let me finish my sentence before you start rolling your eyes. There was an era when, R&B, and we had singers and vocalists really mattered and all that. And a lot of women, even though they had their nice lane, if you're a singer, you can actually just jump into it and sort of blend in or even stand out because you have a nice hit. But now we have things like auto-tune, and now we have all these guys, and it's not just in Kenya. Think about how melodic somebody like Young Thug is. Yeah. Keisha Cole is probably just somewhere just looking at all the hits Young Thug is. Yeah.
I think definitely back in the day, artists put in more work in their art, and it was actually an art.
And even for you, you're actually a singer.
Yes. And so, I find it so annoying, when these artists come up overnight, I'm not going to throw any shade at anybody.
Yeah.
But they come overnight and they have an auto-tune song and it's just
It's a hit. It's a hit.
And they get like hundreds of thousands of views because and they're not even saying anything like
It's repeated.
Watch on my wrist. Watch on my wrist. Watch on my wrist. Like it's so annoying. It's so annoying.
And if you think about it, like you see even like a lot of younger artists who are aspiring or just starting off, like they're adapting to that. And like that's the in thing. Like those are the role models. It's working already, like for Blueprint. But how do you set yourself aside from that? Because like now it's switched people's minds from the like you're a singer, right? So how is it possible to even just like stand out or get people's attention when all these guys are just smoking some kush and in the morning they have 5 songs? Have 5 songs.
It's
and
crazy.
You're composing, working on your pitch and tones and everything.
I mean, it's hard. It's really hard. But also again, music changes and I have to adapt. And like even some of the songs that I'm singing, they're not. I don't really use auto-tune on my music too much, but like the message. Sometimes nowadays we have to dumb it down for like that average Joe. That like you have to make it catchy and just dumb it down. Like it's so weird.
Working in. Have you tried doing like music now in the States or you just strictly like Kenya?
No, right now I'm strictly in Kenya. I have some studios in the States that like when I'm there I can always go to. But
why don't you go and work there? What's this thing that's holding you on, like in Kenya? Like
I know so many people ask me that. And,
why?
I don't know.
You like Kenyan boys?
Yes, the men. I like them tall, dark, and handsome. Ooh, there goes one right now. Shows. Let me stop. But no, it's just other things.
I still want to understand. Like you've talked about like when you're growing up, you really were admiring the culture and everything. But now when it comes to even like music, you see the frustration with like local artists and. Why wouldn't you want to try and
But I'm doing other business stuff here as well too. So that's another thing that's kind of holding me back from doing that.
Okay. Let's talk about like maybe just like collaborations that you've done. Like maybe you've done a lot, right, over the past, or not so many? Or which are some of the memorable ones?
Oh my gosh.
None?
Jeez, I don't even know my own music.
Jesus.
Like, Jim Watt, I have.
Jim Watt is a classic.
Of course. Josie J, we actually did a gospel song
Who's
together. He won the I Can Sing talent.
Talent. Okay, I think I know who you're talking about.
Actually did a gospel song. Now my mom wants me to go gospel.
Oh, God forbid. God forbid. but there's nice money in gospel music.
In Kenya, the industry is actually like pretty big.
It's actually one of the industries that is a guarantee money that's gonna come in.
But I don't know. I'm torn. I do a lot of inspirational music. So I wouldn't exactly like label it gospel because you see all these gospel artists getting like backlash for like other things they do, like that. What's that guy's name? That
Willie
did
Paul.
Hallelujah.
Willie Paul.
Yes, that one.
But the thing is, he has never changed. That has been him, like from the get-go, and people keep complaining. But
But why call him a gospel artist then?
In fact, it's the people who categorize him as a gospel artist. Like he never addresses it. Wow. He's always like just quiet. He removes like another hit, and he's good at it.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe you should do a collab with him.
Yeah, maybe.
And dance.
Maybe,
you
never know.
We can sprinkle water on you guys. Another hit gospel song.
You never know. But I do have some collaborations in the works. I'm not gonna say whom. It will be a surprise.
Okay, local artists.
Yeah, local
And
artists.
when it just comes to, let's say, role models when it comes to music, do you lean towards like American role models or Kenyan role models when it comes to music? And who are these people? Who inspires you? You can tell
A
me.
lot of people inspire me. I'm gonna so cliche to say, but Beyonce is one of like my biggest inspirations
She
in
is
terms
amazing.
of she's amazing. Even though like a lot of her songs like just be getting on my nerves because they just play everywhere and they whatever. But she's
But
hands
it's
down
nice music.
It is. It
generally.
is. But she's hands down one of the best entertainers in the world. The best stage artist in the world. Like she can sing, she can dance in heels. She does it all. And at her age, and she just had 3 kids. Like,
Yeah,
whoa.
man, come on. Like she balances all these things out in a
Whoa.
very.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And then I listen to a lot of like old school. Patti LaBelle, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. Yeah, any other ones? I like Sierra. Yeah. I like a lot of Nigerian. I'm starting to love Nigerian music. I
Play
am.
Nigerian music in Kenya,
Hey,
please.
hey, play Kenyan music first. But I can't tell you their names, but their music is very good, very catchy, they know what they're doing. in
West
the
Africa right now,
industry.
they're
They
killing
on
it.
top. They on top of their game.
But where do you think we're going wrong, though? Because you see, here's the thing. You see, when I've asked you that question, you haven't named any Kenyan artist.
I know, right?
But no, and it's no. And here's the thing.
I was getting to it.
No. But here's the thing. Just think about it, like even for you, since you're an artist, but
Yeah.
and you see that just comes from a genuine place.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like you're lying. You're just saying, like, when
It's
I asked you,
true.
that's the first answer that came to
It's true.
your mind. And where do you think like we're going wrong? Like we're not like really.
Because we're not playing Kenyan music. Like you turn on the radio in the car and it's Nigerian music. Like it's
Good
those
Nigerian music.
Yeah, okay, you had to throw that in there. But yeah, we're not supporting our own people, honestly. Even
But-
like in the clubs and stuff. Like they'll play it for a bit and then it's back to Nigerian music.
The thing is, I think and this is just like my personal opinion. I think Kenyan artists at the moment they're slightly just lazy, and we can't keep crying about like, yo, let's play let's go make good music.
Yeah.
I think if you make good music, people will play good music.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I find
Yeah.
a lot of Kenyan artists, like, I ain't naming no names, but I find a lot of Kenyan artists, like, they don't want to work together. And
There you go. There you go.
Like, one makes one hit and he wants to stay on top and
Yeah.
not bring
Anybody
else
else
up with him.
Look at Diamond.
Yeah, exactly.
Look what Diamond is doing.
Like, it's so crazy, and that's so bad, and that's why we can't prosper and why we can't get anywhere in life.
Which is true. Which is very true. And just think about, like, I don't know what Nigerians are doing, man, but yo.
And then
That-
Nigerians also have the support behind them. Like the government like supports them. They
Yeah.
get funding for a lot of their videos. I mean, Nigerians got money, honey. Like they got aeroplanes, helicopters in their videos.
We know about credit cards and, hey, we know about that as well. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
know. But one thing is for sure that they go the extra mile by all means necessary. Like
Yeah.
if it's visuals,
Yes.
just think about even when they're
Yes.
doing visuals like in the hood.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be anything flashy, but geez, you see
Yeah.
the video and then you're like, oh yeah, this actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And that thing of collaborations is, I don't know if it's just like, it's in everything, man. I think it's in everything. And that's the only way I can explain why someone like Lupita was going for auditions, never being picked up. But once she goes to the States,
Yep.
other people see like,
Yep.
the Kenyan runners who are here, they don't have management, they don't have shoes, they have nothing.
Exactly.
and then they get scouted like by some coach in UK.
Yep.
And then now that's when we start like, oh man,
Yep.
our Kenyans are being used. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
When they were here, you're not like even paying attention to them.
Exactly.
I mean, but we just need to change that narrative, and I guess it starts with us.
It definitely does.
That's why, like, if you're not coming to my podcast, I'm never ever going to play your music.
Oh man, that sucks. Well, you better be here.
It sucks to be you. Because you're representing Kenyan artists in this podcast. I can say that because face of Kenyan music. So, how do you make money as a Kenyan artist? Is that your phone?
Yeah, that's my phone.
You wanna put it on just that. It's shaking the whole.
it
It's
is?
shaking the whole table, man. Like
Sorry.
it's gonna mess up my food. No, not even our vocals. My food is what I'm concerned about.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what was the question again?
As
That's
a Kenyan,
funny, I didn't even feel it.
as a Kenyan artist, how does a Kenyan artist make money?
Make money.
Yeah.
money.
Because even though everybody keeps saying like play Kenyan music, but
Yeah.
how do you make money? Yes, even if we play the music, how do
Like
we?
yes, when the radio stations and stuff like that's why there's like camp. I think it's called like camp and all these other.
Don't tell me about MCSK.
And
The one that pays 5,000 at the end of the year. If you have millions of
they
plays,
have those outlets, okay, Songa and like
or like the Songa, Mdundo.
yeah, Boom
Are
Play.
you like registered in any of those platforms?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how does it work? How does it work?
You register your music, you give them the artwork, you give them the songs, and then once it's played like on radios and even actually when they play it at like clubs and stuff,
Yeah.
you get paid. Like you get paid for it.
And
You get commission.
the best thing about having this conversation with you is because I know you're my friend. And is it sustainable?
I mean, okay,
Listen,
the more
after you put that reaction there on video where everybody can see, is that what you say?
Okay,
I'm
let
saying-
me say this.
'Cause like-
The more music and content you have, yes, it is. And the more plays that you get, yes, it is.
But
It is.
okay.
But
But like, can you pay rent? And because like, let's forget about like businesses or maybe like families that support and everything.
Yeah.
If like you say today, I'm not doing my business on the side, I'm not doing all these other things, and I'm registering in all these platforms, will you be able to pay rent?
I
and
mean, like
buy a nice phone
if
and go
you're-
to dinner and go
All right,
back.
that's too many
Listen, and go back and forth to the States. Is it enough for a flight? Is it enough for a return flight?
maybe for Calligraph Jones.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because you
there are
know
other
what?
ways.
Listen, you know why I'm asking this? Because I mean, I want my platform to inform people, to educate people. Because you have like these kids who are like super young, getting in the game, and they have like a very it's like almost they're blindfolded. They really don't know what they're getting into. They have all these expectations. And
like
and
you just make a song, it goes on the radio, and you get paid.
And you get paid, you get money, and you see the thing
that's
is,
not how it works.
you've been in the industry for like the longest time, and you know like a lot of what goes in and out. I'm not like in the music industry as per se. I know people, but I mean I don't know the formalities, how these things, because when people are complaining they're not getting paid, they're going through all these things. Young kids don't see that. They just see like we're getting views on YouTube, so they're expecting a check from somewhere. They don't even know where the check is coming from.
Exactly. No, most of your income will come from shows. You have to book shows, endorsements, like you have to be the face of something, be an ambassador for something.
Things like Safaricom.
Exactly. Your own merchandise that you're putting out there. But But that's where most of it comes from: endorsements and being an ambassador and shows.
So just selling music like Kenya on a platform, like it's just not working yet. We can say that.
Yeah, we can say that.
Okay.
For the
Wamboe,
most
she's
part,
just like,
unless
yeah.
your name is Kylie Graff Jones.
Yeah. Because and you see, like even for him, if you think about it, how much music does he have to put? He does put out a lot of music.
Exactly.
And not everybody has the same work ethic. So if you have one hit and then your friends are gassing you up, at the end of the year, like the song fades away. Like what do you do next year?
You have to be consistent. Consistency is key, especially in this industry.
And you've been consistent for the longest time. So I think
I've kind of fallen off.
Oh no, I mean, I was almost asking the question. Like, can I ask? Can I at least ask the question before you you ask the question for yourself and then answer it?
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, I know you're super talented, super talented. Why do you think like you're not getting like into the mainstream, or like why isn't your music being received? Because I know you're passionate. For one thing, I know it's passion. You have so much passion, and I've done a few of your behind the scenes videos. I see like how you will go out with, when it comes to cinematography, you want like the best. When it comes to dancers, when it comes to even like just feeding people like on set and everything, like you take care of all that, cause like you're really after recordings and I mean you're very passionate. So what do you think like you're doing like
doing
very yeah, I've been to some sets where like people don't even like, you asked me to come here, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean, like what?
Let's see.
Because you're super talented, you know that, right?
Yes.
Do people tell you that?
Yes, people do tell me
Maybe
that.
they don't. Do your friends tell you that?
Yeah, they do.
And
they do, and I know it's true.
Or is there something that you think you can do differently?
Like, yes, there is. I'm an independent artist, number one, so that's where the hard part comes into play. Because
in Kenya, does it really matter if you're signed or not?
Oh yeah, it does. It does, because everything comes out of my pocket.
Oh, okay.
Everything comes out of my pocket. So, and then I have like when you were asking me earlier, like, do my parents support me? Like, my dad, after a while, I grew up and he's like, oh, okay, well, you have to make your own money and do your own thing. My mom has always been my biggest supporter. She's always believed in me. Still to this day, like, recording wise, she helps me with my music videos, with everything. And yeah, man, being an independent artist is really hard. It's expensive. Very expensive.
So is that the main issue?
That is the main issue.
I'll tell you what you can do in Kenya, and it's very popping in Kenya. There are ways you can make money.
How?
I'll get you, a sponsor.
Oh my gosh!
Get you a sponsor. Listen. There are those people who are like, they have sponsors, zero talent, ambition, and everything. But can you imagine talent, ambition, and the sponsor?
And the sponsor. Yeah, I know a couple of those.
It's like you buy, because like I think, and I think the main, since we're talking about it, it makes sense because it is really expensive. It is very, very expensive, and I think what like Nigerians have done, you see like what Davido does, like he's like, if you go to the States, you can buy verses. Like the artists charge a specific amount for certain verses. So if like you have like even like just a little bit of talent, and like this month we see Meek Mill doing like a verse for you. August, Wizkid drops like a verse for you. Come on, by December the chances are very high. Like if you maneuver very well, chances are very high that you might actually start now being in like people's radar, and people can now start accepting like your music independently.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
definitely.
So do we get you a sponsor, or all the sponsors watching? Slide in the DM.
Money, holla at me. because shoot, something ain't working.
No.
But you see, like some of these artists who can barely even sing,
Yeah.
and
Even see, like,
they have
I see their
like
frustration. I see their
they
frustration.
have like teams behind them
Yeah.
that support them because I mean they have the look
Yeah.
and they have the drive, but their voice might not be there.
Because what I think, like, if you look at, sorry to interrupt you. Did you finish?
No, I finished.
Okay. I was talking about, who was I? Like the Tanzanians. I don't think they really have that much money. I think they just
They
really
have
know
catchy
how
songs,
catchy songs.
very catchy songs.
But when it comes to like video, like if it's a video, everybody like we get a stylist.
yeah,
Let everybody get dressed up properly. If it's lighting, that's good.
yeah,
Let's get good lighting.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, it's not like they really push out the message of like you're flossing,
yeah,
showing off.
Yeah,
No.
true.
It's just nice clothes that, if you think about it, in Kenya, you can afford and buy those clothes.
No, and that's definitely true.
Coordination, choreography.
Yeah,
They put thought into like them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's definitely true. And I've had a hard time with that here because of my accent. And everybody likes to overcharge me for
Why?
because of my accent.
Calligraph has the same accent though.
No, he does not.
He
Calligraph
has the
is
same
from
accent.
Kenya. And he knows Swahili.
Yeah.
And when he's getting ripped off and when he's getting screwed over. So,
Have you tried to ask like people to be like in your song and they were like, you know what? Like they just didn't want to be in your song, or
yes.
there's
I
some people
have.
say like mainstream guys that you
you
looked up to, you
mainstream
love.
guys. Yes, but they didn't
said
just say
no?
They didn't just say no. I don't want to be in your song.
Yeah.
They said let's write a different one.
Like who?
that I'm not
Oh,
saying
okay.
names
Uh-huh. They said,
because we might have a song next month.
oh yeah. So they said, let's rewrite it to a way that it might work for the market, or that I'm comfortable doing it.
That would work for the market. That would work to show like their style and my style infused together.
How about just buying verses? Why don't you just buy verses?
Buy verses. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I mean-
I've thought about it.
How comes you don't have a verse from Kali? It's Papa Jones, man. Come on.
Papa Jones.
He's
I need
giving
some
everyone.
Papa Jones
He's
money,
giving
man.
everyone like verses. No, I think if he spots like your talent, he can probably. I think there's some songs he definitely just
Oh,
hops on
yeah,
the song
definitely,
without even
definitely.
charging.
Me and Calligraph were supposed to be in the studio a couple of times. We just, our schedules like just don't
Come
work. He's
on.
always out of town.
Come on.
But
Yeah.
we will be having a song together.
Or who else do you think is like on your radar, and you think like if you got a verse from them, it would make like your song pop?
If I got a verse, like if they wrote my verse,
Or maybe it's a writer. Like Kagwe writes and produces, right?
yeah.
Do you think maybe he can write? Funny things like, do you know the Act Up song by City Girls? Mm-hmm. Do you know that
It
Liliad?
was, it was
Yeah,
written
but
by-
I mean, you wouldn't
Yeah.
even think about it that way. But maybe there's somebody who can write a song for you,
yeah.
and it's gonna be.
I
It can
hear.
change like maybe everything.
I mean, you're giving me
are those
ideas
things?
now.
Are those things that you've experimented with as an artist? Cause
I guess not so much as I should have, but you're giving me ideas now.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go make a couple calls after this, definitely.
Because how I'm thinking about it, we do have like, apparently I've heard like there's some guys who are really good songwriters, and they're not the best at presenting the music, but they can write something really proper like
then
for you.
I've had some people like I've worked with where they had started to write me a song, but then they're like, oh, can I get on this song too? And it's like, no.
No, but it depends. Is it like somebody who has the talent?
No.
Okay, then they should just be a songwriter.
Exactly.
Carrie Hilson had
That's
been
what I
doing it
tried
for
to
the
tell
longest
them.
time. Like, just write the songs
That's what I tried
until you
to tell
find like something that's good for you. Like, eventually, Just write your song, charge somebody, and I mean, come on.
I know.
Yeah,
But you're giving me ideas.
yeah,
I'll make a couple calls
I'm
after
just
this.
thinking of how you can maneuver as an artist, because, like right now, the internet is like everybody's
yeah.
playground.
Oh yeah.
You can just identify something, rock with it, and actually,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. And I need to like set my social media game up.
And listen, that was like my next
Oh,
question.
man.
That's my next question. Like, are
I
you
know, I'm
taking full advantage of social media?
I am slacking
Come
with social
on,
media.
come on, you
like,
can't do that. You can't
at
do that.
first, it was like the last couple of songs I had put out. Somebody was helping me manage it.
Who?
Uh,
Who should we blame?
it
Who
was-
can we
I
blame?
know, right? I
Who?
know, right? I'm not saying any
No,
names.
but I'm just saying. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but I'll let you finish. Just because my frustration comes in when, like, I also know like some people who are like super talented, and by the time I'm always asking them like, what's going on with you? They tell me like, I have these people who are managing my
Yeah.
stuff and stuff. They say they'll make sure that it goes in all platforms.
And it doesn't.
And
go
I go
anywhere.
to their social and I'm like, yo,
Exactly.
What's going
like
on?
I said, people, my accent, they just take advantage.
no, come on. I don't even think it's that anymore.
No,
Cause
I'm
I don't. Yeah, no. But I'm just saying I don't even think it's that anymore. Cause, and you can't blame people.
No,
Like
and I
when
can't.
when you're 15, you were doing it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be easier right now for you? Because
Yeah.
you've studied like and gone through all these things. I mean,
Yeah. I guess it's just my fault. I'm slipping on it. I need to pick up my phone. I'm just not the type of person to just be on my phone. Hey guys, this is my life and da-da-da. I like to separate my life from my music life.
but you're missing something. Mm-hmm. It is your job now.
It is. And
It is.
And
Like,
it is.
listen, think about, you have one job to do. You have one job. Okay, yes, you have other businesses on the side and
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But I'm just saying there's that one thing that you're super passionate about. Do you really want to see it like just fade away
Yeah.
when you can actually do something? You're really talented,
I
Naomi.
know. Thank
I don't
you.
want to like after 3 years like, you know what, I quit music. I don't want that to be the case. Because even for you just saying like, I feel like I've fallen off, it's because it's not like you're feeling, it's like you haven't put like a certain effort somewhere, and it's you who knows. Like other people wouldn't know, they just assume like, maybe she's not like just
Yeah.
putting out the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why we just decided to go like quiet, just like but I'm just saying, social media
I
is there to be your friend. Don't look at
Yeah.
it as, I know there's that whole thing about personal, but just look at the blueprint that's working for everyone apart from Beyonce. And
Yeah.
Beyonce has like a team of like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But-
millions of followers.
Yeah. the only one place. Oh shit! Like what the hell? Bro? Like the only one place that you can put your stuff, engage with your audience for free.
Yeah.
Social media.
Exactly.
So why do you want to pay somebody else to come and do things that you can already do?
Exactly.
And be like acting like this 60, 70-year-old marketing guys that you go to, and then they're like,
No.
"How is Instagram going to help our company?" No, you can't.
No.
You can't go to that,
No.
Naomi.
But that's where I'm slacking, and I'm picking it up again.
Yeah.
I'm starting to.
Yeah. Or do you want like a social media like team? Do you want to bring in like an intern to help you with that or something?
I don't know what I have to do. I don't know what I have to do.
But social, there's no escaping it.
No. There's not. Because even I'm doing this show on Ebru TV now
Oh,
called
wait,
Let's.
did you join the team?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Okay, congrats.
Thank you.
But still, it's a good platform. But do not forget about your social.
Oh yeah.
Because once you join that team, they get Wamboe, and
Yep,
Wamboe
yep.
can always be replaced.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of people come in that show and go. I
Coming
hope you've
in on
asked
it.
yourself the same questions, though.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
And I feel like they kind of need me for their social media platform,
Oh.
by the way. But
Yeah, but I'm just guessing you should leverage that as well, like on
oh yeah,
social.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let me see the last thing that you posted like on social media so that we can just,
Oh
see
my
if
gosh! Don't put me on blast.
no, so that we just see if what can be improved like on Instagram. Okay, so far I can say I haven't seen you promoting your music anywhere apart from Jesus Christ. Do you see the date on this one?
Yep. Sure did.
But I'll tell you why. I want you to just reflect on this, right? So I can see just what I can read, like, because I'm very big on I take my social media like seriously.
I
Seriously.
know.
See, like even
I
before we
watch it.
started this, like,
Yeah.
post. What I can see if I go to your social media is like I haven't seen you put out like anything to do with music, just like even like a behind the scenes or something that you're passionate about. I see corporate here. You're hosting an event. You are happy doing it, and
I'm in
okay,
the
here
studio
like
there.
here you're in the studio. Probably just took a picture and then left the studio.
No, we were recording
But
this song.
but this is October 2018.
I know.
Okay, and then yeah, I can see taking pictures make you happy, and
That was
that was sorry.
that was actually supposed to be promoting like one of the
Oh, your
songs I
music?
was supposed to release, but we never ended up releasing it.
Why? Am I asking you questions that are making you sad?
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
Continue.
why I'm saying I'm just looking at it from somebody who comes to your social media. Like let's say you're fan,
Yeah.
people who follow you. Then they're like, okay, you're supposed to Naomi Wamboe music hashtag. Probably they wait for the music, it doesn't drop.
Exactly.
And then the whole of this year, okay, you didn't post anything. Okay, till here. What was this an event? Was this like the brunch thing that people do like on Sundays?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can tell like, when you're with your friends, your sister, they make you happy. And then nothing
make you
else
happy.
to do with music until oh wait. In fact we forget about the music. Until she joins the TV show Ibru, and now you become more happy and we start seeing you promoting more of Ibru than your personal music. Which is not a bad thing. Yeah, but I'm just saying like anybody who's following you as a fan, they would jump off the wagon because they see like
Yeah.
yeah, we don't really get the music vibe. But like for me, of course, I'm your friend. I love you through thick and thin and
Yeah.
everything. We know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you ever need help with social media, I've told you to call me.
Yes.
Never. Have you ever called me?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Like you have one job to do, and you know this one person who can actually
One
like.
job to do.
You had one job to do. Just make that call. And if you think about it, like, I've always been like, even when you were doing like your videos like back then, I'm guessing, do you remember like me asking
yeah.
you like, yo, can I come and do like a BTS for you?
Yeah.
And I always,
They're on like YouTube.
did I ever charge you for anything? So are you those Kenyans that, when I'm doing something for free, like be like, this guy is not like, no,
No, not at
and then
all.
when I slap you with like a red card, you'd be like, oh my God, why?
No, not at all. Not at all.
But
not
if
at
you
all.
ever think like you need help, because now, and I'll just tell you, and I tell people like who've come like even to my podcast, just you coming through to the podcast, supporting something that I have, I actually owe you one. So the next thing that you're trying to promote, please call me.
I definitely will.
I'll do it for free.
I'm holding you to that.
No. I'll do it. Like I've done it before,
I
haven't
know.
I?
Yeah.
And yeah, so like
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've talked and circled around music quite a lot, and I don't know what your future projections are when it comes to music. Do you think you'll still pursue it, or you want to take like just a break, think about how you want to maneuver and
I
go back
think
to
right
it?
now that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Like these last couple months, end of last year, these last couple months, it's been hard. I've been taking a break from music. I was in and out of the studio. I'm making content, so I have like a whole bunch of songs. but I just don't know like which route I want to go. You know, I'm getting older. My birthday is on Saturday.
Birthday's
I'm
on
turning
Saturday.
30 years old.
Hey.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's like a 30 years old.
It's a milestone.
Yes, it is. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying not to like
Don't be
live
hard on
up to
yourself.
the,
You know that,
yes,
right? You
yes,
can't be.
I'm
You can't do
trying
that.
not to, because especially in Kenya, because they're like,
Yo, yes.
you're not married, you don't have children, you don't
Children.
have what is this, da da da. I'm trying not to. That's why, anyways. But
Yeah.
I've been going through a lot. Even like struggled with like depression. So I've been going through a lot. Like it was like
you wanna
a
talk about that?
debate of. I mean, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, just the depression part. As long as, I mean, if we need tissues here, like, yo,
No,
I'll give you a hug.
we
I'll give you a
don't.
hug, a kiss on the cheek at most, and I'll still find no.
No.
And I'll tell you why it's important, because, like, even currently, right now, there is just through social media, a lot of people getting depressed because of comparing maybe their lives with somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe there's somebody who's younger and they're
Yeah.
married. They have like their
They have
career,
that
like sort of
banging
like
body of a goddess.
yes,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And their career seems to be like heading towards the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the kind of things that make you sit back and like start
Like
self-doubting?
It definitely did. It
Yeah.
did for a long time, but then it's like I would hang out with some of these people, and a lot of these people had depression themselves. Like
Yeah.
social media is just all a
Can-
front.
yeah.
It's a front, like the biggest front I've ever seen
Mm-hmm.
in my entire life. But
So what exactly made you like feel like,
my
really
depression
took you to your low moment?
it was like my music had started to slow down, and then like I didn't have like a job at the time. I had finished school. It's
Yeah.
like I didn't know what to do with my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And nothing was really taking off. I had gotten in a relationship. It was a bad relation. It ended up being a bad relationship.
Trust me, we'll get to that.
Very bad relationship. So yeah, I struggled with that for a long time. A lot of people didn't know. Of course not, but it was hard. It was hard. So I'm just now like becoming happy again, living life. And that's all you can do. This turning 30 is the only thing that
Pressure.
yes.
But you know what? I think when you're in Kenya, it's slightly different. Because, like, I can't even imagine the kind of pressure you can get, like, if you're in the States.
Yeah.
Because in the States, you have, like, 23-year-olds who have, like, driving Maybachs and stuff.
I know,
and they're not
that's what
stealing
I'm
money. They're not stealing money
I
from anyone.
know.
Like, they're just genuinely
And
selling their
that's what I'm
music and
saying.
everything.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even like moving to Kenya, it was hard because things just move so
Slow.
slowly here. Like
Oh, now I
it takes
get it.
years or
You know what?
whatever to like get on top. I was like debating on whether I should just go back to the States, like make that paycheck, like come back and be balling out of control.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like in America, you work to work to work. Like you don't really have a life.
I know, but that's if you join corporate. But I think if you maneuver in a way that you can actually start making money in arts in the States, it seems to be like super fun. You can really,
Yeah.
as long as you have like good people around you,
Yeah.
it can be like a good thing. Because
Definitely.
the worst thing that can happen would be like you have all that money and you're just surrounded with all the wrong
Yep.
people.
Yep.
So then now you are successful, but then again you're still super depressed.
Yep. True.
It's tricky, and I understand the frustration that you're talking about, especially now that you've mentioned it, that Kenya can seem like a bit. Oh, you're saying Kenya is slow? Have you been? You just started a business in Mombasa. You know how
Oh, my
slow it is right there.
I know, right? In Diani, especially. Good thing we know
Yeah.
people that know people.
Okay, now the comparison that I wanted to put out is in the States, I can only imagine, like, let's say the the people that you're with, like let's say you're in middle school, till middle school, the people that you're in middle school, like right now, if you were to contact them, what are like their life situations?
Oh my gosh, I've been seeing them. Like they're like
And the third baby or
married.
something.
They're like married, corporate jobs. Some are having babies. Like it's just so crazy.
Yeah. And
And then others are just like following their passion, like working for like Uber or something, just traveling the world.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
man, she's living the life.
Yeah, I think it's like right now in the generation that we're in, it's like there's really no blueprint. What used to be like maybe a painted picture of happiness, it's no longer the same thing, because you can like, I think there's a time where everybody was just like, as long as I have a job, I have a family,
Yeah.
and I get to see my relatives at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That was the case. That was the
At
case.
the end of the year.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, just
Family functions, maybe.
yeah, family functions in between, and then at the
Yeah.
end of the year, the Christmas, like
yeah,
celebrations
yeah.
and stuff. It used to be like just that, but right
Yeah,
now,
it did.
it's a whole different
Yeah,
ballgame.
it really is. But
Yeah.
then in Kenya, it was like so crazy because I feel like you're even pressured at such a younger age
Yeah.
to like get married and have kids. Like some of my friends, like here in Kenya at least, they were getting married at the age of like 22, 23, having kids.
I have a question
at
for you though.
like 21, like, jeez.
Can I ask you the
man.
question?
And then their men just be going around finding other
Yeah, no,
girls
listen, that's the
and
question. That's the
cheating.
question. That's the question I wanted to ask. My question was, like, when you started saying that, my question was, how many of them are single moms right now?
Exactly, a lot of them.
Yep.
A lot of them.
It's not about that, because it's not about just that anymore. Like, things are changing, and you have to be really careful on how you're maneuvering.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to bring like even a child to all this bitterness and everything, and
Yes,
people are just
exactly.
irresponsible.
Exactly.
And I'd rather, even if like somebody breaks up with you, and it doesn't become toxic, or just get in a situation that you think is probably long term.
Yeah.
And which brings me to my next question. So we've
is
balanced out
it?
like on health, wealth, health being like mental well-being. And okay, how did you cope like with that? Before I just go to a whole different topic, how did you cope with this depression to a point where now you just started being better, feeling more relaxed?
Oh, I had to see psychologists. I had counselors who helped me through it. I had good friends, good family support who helped me through it. I was on medication at one point in time.
Sorry.
And I'm not going to down medication at all. Like, people think like depression is like this big thing where, oh, if you have to be on medicine, you're weird. Like, there's a stigma to it.
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all. That is not the case at all. And if you need help out there, get help and talk to someone. That's that's definitely what I would say, because your health is your wealth at the end of the day. And yeah, I went through all of that. I'm not on the medicine anymore. I'm stable. I see a counselor like once every...
Why are you smiling when you say this? That's what scares me.
Why?
They're just smiling casually. I'm like, yo, come on, why are you going through all these things? And like when friends are meeting you, they wouldn't know though. That's what I'm saying. That's
I
the
know, I know. It's so crazy because I'm able to put on this big smile. Like,
you're
just
always
have it
smiling.
Always.
And I'm always like, she has to be like on
Always.
crazy drugs, because how
I
come she's
know.
always like super hype?
I know.
I've never met you at
Like
any one
down.
point and then like you're down.
And you never won't. You never will. You never will.
Yeah, like how
And
is
that's
this?
the thing. You never know with the person at the end
That's
of the day.
crazy.
You'll
Especially
never
like
know.
for you. You're
Yeah.
always smiling. Like at least Angie can tell, like when she's on.
I know, when she
be like, yo,
enters the
come
room.
on, what's going on? I'd be able like, yo, what's going on?
I
She'd be like,
know.
I'm okay, but yeah, come on, stop
Yeah.
playing. We know you're not good.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
But it's also important, and a lot of people are going through it right now, and even people that have brought in the podcast, they're sharing the same story. And when it comes to like, people, I had Antonio Soul. Yeah, he was like, bro, I don't even know if I'm crazy or if I'm stable. He was saying like he doesn't know. But it's a bit comforting when you get to understand like it's just pressure, like the pressure of life now is so. It's just it's a different kind of pressure that,
especially for artists too. Especially for artists.
And a lot of people didn't know how they're supposed to approach these or just to maneuver. But let's get off that topic and go to another different topic. But might as well be depressing as well.
Okay.
Look at you.
No, let's stick to the happiness.
No, we're going. The last topic I always like ease into it is like just love and relationships. I've seen people who are more like productive, super productive when they're in a relationship. I've seen people who it slows them and just rips the energy off of them when they are in situations like relationships and stuff. How's your status right now? Last time I checked, you were single.
My status is I'm single.
Single.
Not ready to mingle. I am not looking for anybody, so don't come looking for me. No, I'm just kidding. Last relationship I was in was quite a bit of time. How many years? Like 2-3 years.
You've been in
I know.
You've been in a relationship for 3 years.
Okay, it was 2 years, and then we broke up, and then he was like, "Oh, happy anniversary."
And then you fell for that shit again.
Yes. But that relationship just kind of got crazy because he just became kind of stalkerish, and it was kind of just draining after a while. It was draining me. Like, he would be so skeptical and stuff of, who are you in the studio with? And all most of the producers are men.
Those are the worst. Yeah.
Exactly. So, what are you doing with so and so? What are you doing with
man? That's the worst, man. That's the worst.
Draining.
And I think you see, when you mentioned earlier that I think I kind of fell off. I think that's what happened.
I think so too.
And it's not just you. I see it with a lot of for me also. I know friends who are like that. Once they're in a relationship and stuff, it starts becoming that whole thing of especially if you're in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Who are you hanging out with? Why are you taking pictures, smiling with this person? So subconsciously, you start reaping yourself all these. All these things,
You start detaching yourself
you start.
Away from.
It's okay. Just put it on the chair. Thank you. Yeah. Was it blocking your face? Was it blocking your whole face? I'm like, oh shit, what is this?
That's funny. But no, you start to detach yourself from a lot of people. And then I even found myself, I stopped going out to events.
Yeah, because you'll make this person feel.
Exactly.
And that's where you disappeared to.
Yeah, so I disappeared for a long while. Even I still don't go out lately, but.
Because it's all different now. Because you're not in a relationship. How do you pick up from where you left?
Exactly. And then the whole Nairobi scene. Nairobi's so small.
It is.
It's the same thing over and over and over again.
I've been telling people that, and you can't find me in a club right now, unless it's work.
Exactly.
Or maybe just an outdoor setting where I can talk at least to someone. But clubs, man, there's nothing new, man.
At all. At all.
It's the same thing over and over again. But I'm saying, I know my friends personally who they've shut down companies, man, because of relationships.
Wow.
It's bad. And even I know also just my female friends, and it happens all the time. We'd even start working on a project and everything. And maybe typically when they just see the Kiss Bandit, of course, fact, if you're in a relationship, this wouldn't have happened.
Of course.
They see the Kiss Bandit doing what with him?
I know.
What?
Exactly.
And I have like the purest of intentions. Like
Yeah.
for real, I'm just like, I post everything on my Instagram.
Yep.
You'll see us working, doing all these things.
Yep.
We start working, and then the boyfriend is like, you know what? I don't like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
immediately, this girl would drop everything that we have
Yep.
going on.
Yep. I believe it.
And just like, now I'm like, yo, but we had so many. I mean, what happened to our plan for the whole year to do? And I'm like, yo, and that's why, like, for the podcast, you see me rolling alone, doing the setup, doing the interviews, editing. Okay, I have a copywriter, somebody who does my copy, but you know, she's a whole different kind of maturity, man. Like, yo, and I've seen that firsthand happen to a lot of my friends, and a lot of girls with so much potential.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's all flashed down the drain.
It's so sad. It's pathetically sad.
Now, why do you think it's like? Because I mean, I see people like in other countries, even though they are in a relationship, they kind of like balance or support each other. Like, yo, you're going for a thingy tonight. Like, yo, be like, yo, nice.
I don't know.
Go get it.
I don't
Go in
want
the
to
studio.
like say like tribalism.
No, if it
But
is,
there
you
are
can
just some
from
African
your
men-
personal experience, you can.
There's just some African men out there who just are. They feel inferior or something. I don't know the word.
They're weak.
Yeah, they're weak.
Yeah.
They feel they're insecure.
Because
That's
why
the word.
else? Why else would I?
Very insecure.
Like, let's say if you're in the studio with somebody like Calligraph,
Yeah.
and you know he just happens to have left the gym.
Yep.
How many studio sessions do I have to storm in?
Exactly.
If that's a problem. How many studio
Exactly.
sessions do I have to come and storm in and like just?
Exactly.
But it's so bad because I've seen it, and like even nowadays, like when somebody's telling me like, yo, why were you laughing with this kind of person? Like,
Yeah.
be like, who the fuck do you think you
Yeah.
are? Like, yo, like I hardly know you. I haven't grown up with you.
Yep.
I smile with all my friends.
Yep.
And to an extent, I'll kiss all my friends who want to be kissed.
Yeah.
Not guys. Let's not get it twisted, right? I'm talking about women. But I'm just saying, like, I'm a loving person.
Yeah.
So there's no way you can tell me not to hang out with someone. Because the moment you say that, like, I cut you off immediately. Like, it's a wrap for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, a lot of people, like, and it's not just with just men, even women do this, but it's like it's a Kenyan thing. It's a Kenyan thing. I don't know how.
It's insecurity, man. It's insecurity, and it just, I don't know, could either make or break relationships. I don't know.
No, man.
Like, it's like the guys just want the girls to be this specific kind of way and act this specific kind of way and just be a housewife or something.
You
And
a
just taking
housewife? He wanted you to be a housewife? No, but like,
Please.
but let me put it in this context. Like, if let's say somebody's dating somebody like you, they know you're already exposed to a lot of things when it comes to travel. You come from, like, you know, you don't come from a place where, like, you know, you don't have food to put like on your table. You're not desperate for anything. That's what I'm trying to say. But you know, when you're dating some of these food rats, man, I'm just saying, you have a whole other different ball game coming at your face.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing that would happen to a guy, it would be like, yo, you have this girl who's like, you know, she's been exposed to all these different situations. She knows how to carry herself. I've seen you, like, how you carry yourself. Like, you know what's up. You can have fun, be responsible, and still talk about work, mingle with different people. And I can see that, but I can also see when somebody's like, yo, I've had some interns, man, I've gone with them somewhere, and I'm like, yo, thank you. Yeah, this is okay. You know, the first time you blocked her face with the whole... So you sure you don't want this juice?
I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what was I saying? I was saying, like, because I have, like, yo, I've dealt with some. If you want to know about ratchet women, I've dealt with them. Yo, and I know. And I also know, like, good women.
Yeah.
And to me, it's always, like, so frustrating when, like, I know somebody has, like, you're a legit proper girl, and he's so worried that he's trying to, like, just mess up with her head in so many different ways, man.
Yeah. It's insecurities. Like, straight back to that. That's what I feel and believe it is. It's just,
Did you ever give them a reason to feel insecure though?
No.
No? Not seated on someone's lap in a studio session or something. Look at you smiling. Let's not be here. I'm here just like,
No,
on your side,
mean?
and then you're guilty of doing all some other things. Come on.
What does that mean? It's like
I'm just saying.
whatever drunk me said or did, take it up with drunk me because sober me wasn't there. Okay. So,
Now listen, that's not.
like
If I'm on your side, that's not what you should be saying, Naomi. Come on.
Kidding.
No.
No. I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah.
I just.
Do you think you give them a reason?
I didn't give him any reason to, but I do hang out with a lot of males, period. Period. Like in this industry, that's just what it was. Like
it's male dominated though.
It is.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I'm just saying, like, if you're hanging around people like Sauti Soul, they don't even have shirts in their wardrobes.
Exactly.
I mean, man, they'll just be like topless the whole time in a studio session, or even if it's just chilling, they'll be like, you know what?
Exactly.
This shirt makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm just like,
exactly.
but I'm just saying, it can be hard, but I just know you as a person, even though we haven't been in so many settings where I can just tell somebody who's aware of what's happening and how you just carry yourself in a respectable way.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's sorry and it's unfortunate you had to go through that, but don't let that now be a reason for you not to even
Date.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let this man ruin you. That's one experience.
Yeah,
and
true.
Yeah, don't let that one experience make you be now
I know.
closed to so many other different situations.
And I think that's what I'm going through right now. Because
come on, like if somebody gets you like flowers, you're like, fuck off, man.
No.
Like all Kenyan men are the same. Kenyan men
I've
are
had
assholes.
a couple of people tried to come. I think I'm just not ready right now. I'm not in a mental space. Like, I want to get my ish together first.
I'll take a break.
And you need to be happy being able to be alone before you can be with someone else, And that's where I am right now in my life.
But do you see yourself settling down, maybe? Are you the kind of person who wants family probably in future and that kind of thing, or this guy just ruined everything for everyone else?
I know, he sure did.
Shit.
But if you had asked me that a
couple of years ago, I'm sure, yeah.
I would not be the one to see myself settling down. I did not want to have kids. 9 whole months without a drink. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have kids. I'm the type, I feel like adoption, there's so many children that need to be adopted out there.
Yeah.
And, that would have been answered. But now that I'm reaching 30, I think I can see myself settling down. I can't see with who right now.
Yeah.
But I can see myself settling down. I would have 1 kid, maybe 2. Maybe
so
the second one would be
so
adopted.
that they're not bored.
Maybe the second one would be adopted.
Come on, have 2. If you
Maybe
have
the
1,
second
just
one.
have 2. It's
The
good
second
company.
one will be adopted.
Uh-huh. Okay. It's up to you.
9 whole months.
Do you think it's easier for just girls who have kids, when they're 22, 23, and then by the time they're 28, 30, they're like, yo, that's a done deal. I know girls who they're 24 and they've had 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other.
Yeah,
it's done.
and
It's a done deal.
I've seen that, and it can go 1 or 2 ways, honestly. For my cousin, she had her first kid at a very young age. I think she was 17 or 18. She had her first child. And she was the party girl. She was the only child. Her mom was always at work. So she was the party girl before she had the kid. Even when she had the kid, she was still going out, leaving the kid with the mom. But she was still a kid.
She's young. And
she was. But then she ended up having 2 more later on. And she's the best mother in the world. She's my age. So in October, she'll be 30. So but she's my age. But she's the best mother in the world, and I really look up to her. A lot of girls that got pregnant young, and they get to like have these prime years with their kids.
Yeah,
you know?
when you have all the energy, I'm just
Yeah,
guessing, man.
like they take them everywhere. They just, they
Yeah.
could travel with them if they got the money to and stuff. And then
Yeah.
you see like other women having kids when they're older, but some of
Don't
them
have
just
the
don't
same
have
energy.
the energy. Exactly.
No, you don't have the energy.
Exactly.
Like a 22, 23-year-old has a whole different
Yes.
She can be like
Yes.
partying in the morning. She's breastfeeding
Yep,
and like
yep.
taking like the kid to school.
Exactly.
The energy is there, but
Exactly.
So what you're
We'll
saying is
see.
like you're wishing like you got pregnant early.
I did not say that.
Ooh.
I did not say that.
No, but if you had a chance to go back in time, would you have a kid then?
No, I don't think so.
No,
No.
no.
9 whole months.
It's just 9 months, and then like you.
Just kidding.
It's just 9 months.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, wait. And
Maybe,
does that scare you
maybe.
though? Does that
Yeah.
that scares you
Well,
when you see those
not
pictures?
now. Not now as much.
No, you still seem like you're
but
scared.
Even that's why
9 months.
That's why I'm like, man, I'm pushing 30.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like it's like baby fever is kind of setting in. I'd be watching Instagram, like all these cute little babies.
Yeah.
Baby fever sets in, and then I'm like 9 whole months. Oh, let me adopt.
Okay, it's tricky, but like even it's just part of life. I think
Yeah.
nobody wants to be. Do you want to be old alone? No kids playing around?
No.
Because
No.
the older you grow, I mean, that will start definitely settling in your mind. Because
Yeah.
you can't be meeting up with friends all the time,
I know.
and it's just part of adulthood, though.
Yeah, true. And
Yeah.
then I'm pretty sure my parents want grandkids, and Angela ain't having one anytime soon. Like
What
we
do you
know
mean?
that.
What do you
Everybody's expecting Naomi to, but I don't think I'm having one anytime soon.
But do they give you that pressure? Like, yo, I
Like,
mean,
no,
it's
no, my
they
parents-
don't even like
well,
throw hints.
my mom always does throw hints. She's like, you need to get a husband. I'm gonna arrange a marriage for you. She always threatens me with that. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna have an arranged marriage for you.
Uh-huh.
I'm tired of you guys. But yeah.
Maybe sometime soon. We give it time, no rush. Like we said, we don't want another bitter, angry,
Exactly.
single Kenyan man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you were to date again, what kind of qualities would you say you look for in a guy? Because I'm sure the qualities you had before are not the same that you'll be looking for right now.
No.
So what exactly would you be looking for in a
I
guy?
don't.
Maybe somebody's there who'd be watching this podcast and just like, yo, if I had that girl, I'd treat her like a queen.
I know.
What qualities?
I would want somebody who's not insecure, who's funny,
Ooh, sense of humor.
loves to travel,
Ooh.
likes to take me places.
When you say travel, do they have to pay for the trips?
Of course.
Okay, I'm still not yet there. So they're like, all the other
Put
qualities
your
are there.
hands
All the other qualities are there. Okay.
What else? Who's like has a stable job,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Who's not like always working, a workaholic.
Yeah.
But
Kind
I
of freelance or
understand.
something where they can.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like I understand like your hustle is your hustle, and I'll respect that always.
Yeah.
But when you're like married to your job and like don't
Can
have
get
time
crazy.
for me, then no. Yeah.
Basically, plus somebody who's there for you.
Yeah.
Is he caring, adventurous?
Yes.
A bit of course, finances should be important. I
course.
mean, come on, man.
course.
Nobody's planning to be like
Do you
like I'm
know,
planning after 10 years to be
like,
broke in future.
My
No.
hair needs to be paid for, like, and my nails.
Oh, okay. Before we wrap it up,
Yes.
what's the most you've spent on hair since you mentioned it?
Whew.
Let's talk. You brought it up.
The most I didn't spend it, but
Yeah, but somebody paid.
somebody paid for it.
Yeah.
The most I would have to say was like, and it was ridiculous because the hair was not even that great. It did not last like even a month, but it was $400. That's 40,000 shillings.
Kind of shillings.
Yeah,
That's a
see,
lot.
that's not bad. Oh,
I'm
that's a
not
lot.
paying. I'm not paying for. I'm not paying. I don't even like. I even stopped paying Uber trips for people recently. I'm like, yo, nah. Chip in half.
That's
Come.
bad.
Get an Uber. Get you an
Right.
Uber back. But I'm not paying like. But it's just cause. But do you think there's so much pressure on guys right now? Cause like there's so much being demanded from like women. They want this tall, dark, handsome. They want financial
Yeah,
stability.
they want
They want
all
to
of
be.
this. They want all of that.
Yeah.
I think from Kenyan women, yes. Kenyan
Yeah.
women are very picky and
Yeah.
they want everything, but they don't want to get off of their ass.
Yeah, do they have
and
anything
work
else to
hard
offer?
Exactly.
Do they bring something to?
They're always looking for sponsors or sugar daddies, and I think that's disgusting to me. Like, no. Bring something to the table.
Before you start having all these demands, that it has to have like I heard like this chick saying that she wants somebody with a house, right? A big ass house, but not rental. It has to be like I'm like come on, I can't even rent like like I have to have finished
Paying
paying
it
my
off.
mortgage payments before I date you. But you see, there's too much pressure,
Yeah.
and when you look at it, it's like, so what are you bringing to the table? What if
Exactly.
things go left and we have kids?
Exactly.
Because you're taking all these things lightly, but what happens when some real ass life situation happens?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you won't be able to handle anything because all you have to bring to the table is what?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, man.
Kids.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess we've talked about quite a lot when
Yeah.
it comes to life. Was the podcast like something? Were you expecting this kind of conversation?
I wasn't. I was actually kind of nervous at first, but it was a very fun podcast. Good questions. Yeah.
When was the last time you had like a real conversation like this one?
I couldn't even tell you. I honestly couldn't even tell you. No, because even like interviews, they're like so short, sweet, to the point.
Idiots.
Like, yeah.
They hire idiots for their job.
Yeah,
Yo.
they do.
Okay, no, let me not say that. But
Hey,
I'm just saying.
I interview
but I'm just saying.
people.
No,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's what I'm
idiot.
saying. That's why I figured like, let me not say that because you're also in the same field. Plus, I'm just saying like for the podcast, I'm just trying to bring something different from what people are getting like on TV and
Yeah.
radio, and I think that's what I've tapped into, like
Yeah.
those real conversations that people tend not to have, and now we have all this Instagram pressure and everything.
Yeah.
Everybody's sort of like seeking guidance.
Yeah.
Information is there, like, but not all the right information
Yeah.
about just life.
Yeah.
Like, you just broke up with someone. How do you deal with it?
Yep.
Were you sad? Like, you've just
Yeah.
shared things that you don't even need to share with me. You see,
Yeah.
but you shared with me, and I can just say like I respect you just even coming to share that
Yeah.
in this platform.
Yeah.
I respect that, and I just hope like don't give up on your music and don't give up on love just because of like previous experiences and stuff. Like we're supposed to live this life and enjoy it. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. That.
Thank you for your advice.
Hey,
Maybe I'll go looking for someone.
Oh yeah. Once they
might
see
be out
this,
there.
when they see this, I'll just cut that segment where I'm telling people like, slide in the DM, slide in the
Slide
DM.
in the DMs.
Let's start coming out, and then you can do like a whole assessment, like you.
Yes.
Nah. Anybody with a shirt that says insecure?
Okay.
Nah,
Peace.
no. Okay, so is there anything else you have going on or you want to plug before?
Oh man.
Or where can people find you on social media?
You can find me at Naomi Wamboe, Wamboe. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Yes, YouTube. My music is there. What else? Yes, that's about it.
And what else do you have going on?
What else do I have going on? I have,
Is there anything you want to
business.
plug?
Club, One Vibe Africa.
I'm not talking about drugs. You know that, right?
I know that.
Oh, okay.
One
Yeah,
Vibe,
One Vibe Africa.
I'm an
Yeah.
ambassador for One Vibe Africa. We work with some kids in Kisumu, between Kisumu and Seattle. We also have a home in Dagoretti. Me and my sis, we go, we sponsor some of the kids. We work with them. We have workshops. Shout out to them.
Can people get involved in this if they
People
want?
can get involved. DM
Yeah, how?
me, holla at me, and we can definitely get you involved.
Okay, and since this episode might just be coming out, when do you think it will be coming out?
I don't know. When?
I just want you to wish people a happy holidays message.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Like, how many months are we talking?
Those months before the holidays. So you might as well say happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you and yours. Thank you for watching.
So it's been real again, another amazing episode of the podcast featuring
Naomi Wamboe.
Hey, it's the Kiskapades podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. Don't miss out. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.